Welcome. This is Jason Moreno, and I am a Senior Security Solutions Consultant with Quest Software, taking you through the Quest On Demand Security Guardian. Today in this recording, we're going to be covering the dashboard, kind of going through some of the tabs. This is more of what we call a harbor tour, just kind of helping orient you through the interface to understand where you would find and what sections are relevant to the work you're looking to get done now that you have it properly installed. And that is the assumption that you have either the hybrid Tier 0 collector from Quest, your Bloodhound Tier 0 collector, or both, and that Intra and Change Auditor is installed and up and running so that you would at least start seeing some results. So if you have anything here that's all blanked out in gray, indicating that you're not receiving any information, the first step I would take is go back and make sure you're actually covering the videos, talking about how to get it up and running and configured properly in this series. So let's just talk about what's on this dashboard here. So I'm in Security Dashboard, and what we're looking at on the left-hand side, two different panes. This is going to be covering your uncertified Tier 0 objects, computers, domain controllers, whatever has been promoted or has privileged service accounts that has been detected during our collection of Tier 0. And over here under uncertified privileged objects, this is going to be your intra environments. So if you have a tenant all hooked up and you're pulling in roles and service principals, you're going to be able to use the section here and the section here for on-prem Active Directory to actually start certifying, going through, figuring out what is privileged, what is not in your environment. I can't tell you how many times customers ask themselves, what is it that I'm looking at? And it's their environment. And then we also have knowledge gap issues. So we have people that are managing Azure/Entra identifications and not understanding how those roles are permissioned. And then you have people that come in and don't understand how Active Directory and its service accounts and privileged accounts and groups are managed and don't know where they are or which groups they are. And now it's a matter of going through and certifying those. It will give our tool a lot more power once you've certified it to start scanning those Tier 0 objects, looking for how attacks or hygiene issues will play out in your environment. So let's move on. You're also going to see up here dashboards of how well you're doing with the certification. So you can see we haven't really started out. So I have a couple of items maybe certified in both areas. Then this section here deals with the active hygiene and detected threats. So hygiene is indicators of exposure. These are the critical items, and the way it's defined, you can find in the user guide. You can click on this eye up here, it'll bring you out, and you'll see right here the types of findings that you're going to find within the solution. So keep in mind that these are rated based on how Tier 0 objects are affected. Are they a privileged account? Do they have multiple exposures? Things like that are going to determine the criticality. This is not just some subjective, somebody out in the security world told you that it's a critical event or a critical exposure in your environment. It's from what the product is detecting in your environment and from the analysis that we're doing. Active detected is actually pulling in what are considered unusual traffic or events going on in your environment. Could be anything from somebody's account has changed on-prem, in the cloud, multiple brute force attacks going against multiple users in the cloud. All kinds of different information can be gathered, including attempts to read the Active Directory database. All of that is just here as a visual to let you start drilling down and understand what it is. And that is this section here. The highest severity ratings will let you go in and start looking at the hygiene events. You can click view all or come over here and go to findings. And I'm going to do that. It will go ahead and give you It should give you an unfiltered view. If you need to reset that, you can always hit clear all like I did. And then you can go in and decide, what kind of event am I looking for? Is it workloads based on Active Directory or Entra ID? And as you would imagine, filters are really easy to set up and decide what is maybe critical versus not critical, all that. Let's take you through Tier 0 objects. This is where I'm digging in. So the dashboard is just the high level view. Once again, I have the ability to filter this. So if I just want to work on a particular environment, whether it's Entra or on-prem Active Directory, I can do that. I can look at certification status and decide, is it certified or not certified? If it is, it'll give me a quick filter to see what it is that we've already checked off. This is an excellent place to start adding and removing Tier 0 objects as necessary. Once you certify it, you can enable protection on it. So you could see here it's been certified. And if I just hit enable protection, it gives me the ability to make sure that no changes happen to this object in the environment. That's going to be all on-prem Active Directory objects. Soon to come, and I'll probably re-record this, but you're going to see shields up also here, possibly. I believe it'll be on the dashboard. And what it's going to do is anything that has been certified as Tier 0 is going to then protect it automatically for you. So if you're starting to see findings that are anomalous and you're not really sure what's going on, whether it's an active attack like these detected anomalies. So if I go to type, filter, detected TTP, this is going to bubble it down to, hey, this is stuff I really need to look at, whether it be in Entra or on-prem, and decide what is serious and what's not, what's actually playing out here. It could be your regular administrators doing their work, just not in a way that you were expecting, and it's time to start cleaning up some of those habits. Let's take the next section, assessments. This is going to run pretty much automatically. And once you connect Active Directory, the Entra ID connection, we're going to pull in, we already have scans already created. So we're already looking for all of the activity that most of our customers are looking for. However, customers can create their own, going through and pulling in additional events that maybe are not as a part of our default scans. But to be fair, our default scans are pretty much everything that our customers need to worry about. A lot of what we're doing here is simplifying things, so your customers are not trying to spend their days working and configuring products, including understanding what we do find in credential access. And you can see a list. So if you've checked off the box and created a scan, more than likely we've already done this within the solution's default assessments. And settings, you can go through and see the other videos, but this gives us the ability to set up our destinations where we want to send our alerts to, as well as all the indicators, and this will change over time. So you're going to see a number here that's probably not reflective of your environment now, depending on what additional results end up being added in over time. I have looked at the backlog and there are additional ones going into the solution, so the number will change over time. So if you're looking at this video and you say, well, I have 180, he's showing 174, just know that that's probably normal. You shouldn't have to add in anything. That is our job, to make sure our products are picking up those signals and telling you about the latest types of attacks and or hygiene issues your organization should be looking for. I want to thank you for joining me on this tour of the dashboard and some of the key findings, Tier 0 objects, and all of the different tabs that I've gone through. Please come back and watch the rest of the series.